Entertainment Tonight is being preempted to bring you this ABC News 4 special.
Tonight, a great and heroic tragedy has befallen our community.
Monday, June the 18th, was the day that our city will never forget.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Dean Stevens.
And I'm Victoria Hanson. Welcome to the special edition of ABC News 4 as we mark 5 years since the anniversary of the Sofa Superstore fire and the 9 Charleston City firefighters killed.
We come to you tonight from just off of Savannah Highway in the former site of the Sofa Superstore. We begin with a look back at that night. What started as a dumpster fire claimed the lives of 9 Charleston firemen. ABC News 4's Natalie Cowla takes a look back.
It was a little after 7 p.m. on June 18, 2007, when smoke billowed out of the Sofa Superstore.
I want you to come on walkie-talkie on Rumble Street, Savannah Highway, and come in the front door.
Dozens of firefighters attacked the blaze as they discovered someone was trapped.
Get me out, please.
You're inside. Whereabouts?
At the back.
Oh, at the back. At the back. He's in the back. He's trapped in the back.
Firefighters saved Sofa Superstore employee Jonathan Tyrell.
They got the guy that was trapped inside.
Relief in the rescue, but it wasn't over. Not even close. 9 firefighters were trapped inside, but no one knew the tragedy that would follow. Final words captured on their radios.
Amen.
And then, silence.
Still, thick smoke fills the air, and those firefighters say they aren't leaving until they're all accounted for.
That night, 9 fallen firefighters were carried out. Brad Beatty, Michael Benke, Melvin Champagne, Earl Drayton, Michael French, Billy Hutchinson, Mark Kelsey, Louis Mulkey, and Brandon Thompson. The smoke's darkness remained as the Charleston community took the first steps towards healing.
It's the greatest fire tragedy, I think, certainly in modern times.
The men who worked beside the fallen, the city's leaders, all made a vow then.
We will never forget, just like 9/11, we will never forget these 9 firefighters.
They inspire us today. They will inspire this community in all the days to come.
The site where 9 men perished remains a remembrance of their ultimate sacrifice. Each marker in the spots the men took their final breaths. A validation of the hope to keep the memory of the Charleston 9 alive. Natalie Cowla, ABC News 4.
That night, the families of the Charleston 9 rushed to the scene, only to stare helplessly at the flames that claimed their loved ones' lives.
The parents of firefighter Louis Mulkey say even though he is gone, they still feel he is with them. ABC News 4's Eric Egan has a story of a family still trying to heal.
Frozen in time.
This is when he was born, and this is, he was about 2-3 months old here, and he was a year old.
The life of Louis Mulkey hangs on the walls of his parents' home.
Louis was our baby. Yeah.
The youngest of 2 boys, Louis Mulkey was a free spirit, according to his mother, Ann.
Louis had a very kind heart. He took after his mother. He cared about people.
His passion could be seen on the court when he coached the Somerville boys basketball team.
He loved those children at school.
The Mulkeys say their son's passion was just as strong for firefighting.
He was proud of it. He was very proud of being a fireman, and we were too. We were very proud for him.
While becoming a firefighter was a surprise to the Mulkeys, his mother says she supported him and rarely worried about her son's dangerous profession.
I was never afraid for him. Lewis knew what he was doing.
But suddenly, on June 18th, Ann and Mike Mulkey found themselves rushing to a furniture store fire where 9 firefighters had been trapped and killed. When they found out their youngest son, Lewis, was among the dead, life changed forever.
I don't know. It's hard to put in words. It really is hard to put in words, you know. But he's with us every day.
The night a fire took their son still haunts them.
It gets overwhelming at times. And we still have our moments, you know. There's many a nights here that you just sit and cry. And you look over at his pictures and you say, you know, why? But I know you're not supposed to ask that question.
The Mulkeys still visit their son's grave, his name now a permanent fixture in Charleston's history, and one they'll continue honoring.
Every day. Every day. Every day.
It's a difficult reality to grasp for the Mulkeys that their once bright and spirited son will only live on in memory, but it's also paired with the sacrifice he made and the hero he became. Eric Egan, ABC News 4.
After the tragedy, you could only imagine how difficult it must have been for those who made up the Charleston Fire Department. Fire department leaders say about 90% of their men and women were affected by the fire. The majority of those who worked for the CFD at the time of the fire have either quit or retired. 162 new employees have been hired since the 2007 blaze. For one firefighter, his survival has been a difficult burden to bear. Chris Villarreal has fought through the dark days, and now he works to prevent the loss of life when a firefighter answers the call. All gave some gave all, and some will never forget.
We came in, of course it was the day after Father's Day, and it was hot that day, and so we were going to try to kind of lay low as much as we could so it wouldn't be, you know, we could stay inside the AC as much as possible.
The smallest of details are remembered.
We were going to barbecue some pork chops out there that on Monday.
The final day, the final moment of each firefighter is etched in Chris Villarreal's memory.
Michael French brought, his daughter gave him some Rescue Me, and he was a big Rescue Me fan. So he made us watch that pretty much all day long. Brandon Thompson, who was working for one of the guys that day, was also on Engine 10. And so I asked Brandon if he wanted to go. He said, nah. He said, I'll lay back. In fact, I'll go to the ladder truck while Nathan comes over here on 10. So we swapped them out. I called Mark Kelsey up and said, hey, look, you know, how about get those pork chops out? We're going to go ahead and get the sides for it.
But the pork chops were never grilled. The meal was never made.
And right when I hung the phone up, the call went
Well, you need to come behind the Sofa Superstore.
And life as a fireman for Villarreal changed forever.
The only thing that really stands out for me was the actual radio transmissions. Nobody could really talk to anybody. Whenever you did try to talk to somebody, somebody would cut you off.
But word spread, like the fire that brought down the Sofa Superstore, the fire that claimed 3 of Villarreal's men.
From my station, the entire ladder company, which was Mark Kelsey, Brandon Thompson, and Michael French. It was a real solemn type feeling. I mean, there's nothing like pulling one of your own guys out and taking them to the, I mean, you're just sitting there talking to them 1 minute, and next thing you know, you're carrying them out and putting them on in the coroner's van. You know, it's a feeling that I really don't see anybody else trying to go through. All right, so everything else is good, huh? What are we having here?
And reason why Villarreal worked through the pain, dealt with personal setbacks, and became a leading voice of change.
At one time, I did think about leaving, but the one thing that pretty much kept me here on the job were the 9 guys. There was change that had to be made, and I felt like if I stayed here, I can, you know, I guess be the thorn. And it's just to ensure that some of these things get put into place.
The department has undergone real change in 5 years, and so has Chris Villarreal.
The Charleston Fire Department was left broken, but pulled together to ease their pain. The department created the Charleston Firefighter Support Team, a counseling group dedicated to the emotional health and well-being of firefighters and their families. The initial purpose was to help each other heal after the fire, but 5 years later, they are doing so much more.
We were able to expand this team to provide a full-service counseling unit where we help families and firefighters with whatever stresses them and whatever bothers them in their daily lives.
The support team is now made up of 3 clinicians, a team physician, and 12 peer counselors. Every year on the anniversary of the fire, they spend the day at the memorial site for anyone who needs help.
Coming up next, transforming the Charleston Fire Department.
The changes made in the past 5 years and what still needs to be done. Stay with us.
Hard to believe it's been 5 years, but I would say they did not die in vain. As a result of this tragedy, we're modernizing the way we fight fires and going to big buildings that are structurally compromising.